a little bit higher protein needs for that matter. Okay? If you're on an energy restriction, or if you're a player who says, you know what, I know that if I take smaller portion sizes, and I know that because I'm trying to lose maybe a pound or two of fat, or 4 pounds of fat, or whatever it might be, by restricting protein, that's not a good thing. You do want to make sure you have enough protein when you're on a reduced calorie diet. Otherwise, you will utilize your muscle mass for a little bit of extra stored energy. It'd be about that 10% I was talking about. People who are vegetarian. Vegetarian athletes can be really, really healthy, but if they don't watch what they're doing, they won't necessarily have enough protein, and they will lose a fair amount of body mass. Okay? So, a lot of bullet points up here. What you need to know is your body can only utilize about 2 grams of protein per kilogram body weight per day. So how do you figure out how many kilograms you are? I'm 140 pounds, divide by 2.2, and I'm like 63 kilos. All right? So take your weight and divide by 2.2, and that's how many kilograms you are, and then you can figure out how many grams of protein you need. If you're really pushing the protein, you're probably not getting enough carbohydrates in. If you're eating one of those really high protein diets because you're thinking by adding protein I'm going to get A, extra energy, or B, really be able to be cut and ripped. You've got to have that to build it, but you have to be able to have a strength program combining with that. What I'd like you to do is think about eating protein a few times a day. Don't save your protein for dinner, all right? When you get up, have milk with your breakfast, have a yogurt or something at lunchtime, and have a big old boneless, skinless chicken breast at dinner, however you want to do it. But spreading it out helps to build body mass, not just focusing on it in the evening or just in the morning, okay? A lot of players I know have egg whites and maybe 1 egg yolk or something, or turkey bacon in the morning. Depends upon what they're doing, you know. At lunch, maybe they have the stir fry, or they have a sandwich, you know, a ham sandwich or whatever it might be. Spreading it out is awesome. That's the best thing you can do. Go into your strength workouts well nourished. Now, what does that mean? If you get up in the morning and you do some cardio, and then you're going to go right to the weight room before you get to class, make sure that you have breakfast and dinner the night before, and that they're solid, good meals. If you go in malnourished or undernourished, you are not going to be able to build the body mass that you're hoping to the next morning. It's just not going to be as effective way. You get up in the morning, maybe you guys go running or you do whatever it is at 6:30 or 7 before you head to class. Should you have something to eat or drink, ideally something real quick in the morning is going to be a benefit to you. I'm not going to sit up here and say you have to have a bowl of Raisin Bran, because then who's going to go up and run 4 or 5 miles after eating that? But maybe half a glass of apple juice or something that you can tolerate in your stomach, all right? And I'm getting off the protein thing here, but the idea behind that is that you go into your workout relatively well nourished, you top off your glycogen stores, and you're able to have a better workout and recover more quickly, okay? But back to the protein thing, okay? Refueling afterwards, we've got some slides on refueling. With both a protein and carbohydrate mix, okay, and the ideal ratio is 4 grams of carbohydrate to 1 gram protein, or 4-to-1 ratio. That's what's going to replenish your glycogen stores, as well as provide the muscles that you're trying to build a little bit of protein to build it up. Going into a strength workout, having consumed a protein shake is not a great idea. When you want to have the protein is after that, okay? Make sense? Okay. Now, a couple slides on vegetarian athletes. Great way to go, okay? Vegetarianism can be really, really healthy, but you have to learn how to complement the proteins. And you probably have heard that term before. Proteins are made up of amino acids, sciencey term for just what they're made out of. And incomplete proteins are anything that are not animal sources. Complete proteins are animal sources. And that's what our body really prefers to utilize and really prefers to have to make and build muscle. It can take incomplete proteins, i.e. peanut butter and bread, and you can have them together, and then it can utilize the amino acids from there. But animal sources are considered complete proteins. If you do follow a vegetarian diet, you can actually be really, really helpful, just making sure that you're getting those complementary proteins within about 3 to 4 hours of each other. Don't just have peanut butter on celery and then wait and then have, you know, something like 5 hours later. Okay, you want to make sure that you're complementing them within about 3 or 4 hours. These are the vitamins and the minerals that typically vegetarian athletes are low in, because those are the things that are found in animal products. All right? B12, calcium, iron, and zinc. And this is sometimes a really big one, is that because vegetarian diets are so high in bulk that you get filled up. And as an athlete, you may not be able to perform very well because you really should be having 3,000 calories. You're only getting in 2,300, okay? Because they're lower in calories and higher in bulk. But a general vegetarian meal plan might look like this. And the other thing to think about is that animal products have something called heme iron, H-E-M-E. And non-animal products have non-heme iron. Now, we absorb as individuals, we absorb both kinds of iron, but man, do we absorb animal iron a whole lot better than non-animal iron. So you guys remember Popeye when he popped the can of spinach and go, right? And you know, be really, really strong because he had all that iron. He was absorbing maybe 6 or 8% of it, and that's about it. We absorb animal stuff so much better. And so I put in the milligrams, how many milligrams of iron that a person might need. Now women, we need to have more than the guys do because A, we've got our menstrual cycles and it turns over a whole lot more quickly. And B, because we as chicks end up eating less than the guys do. These guys will probably eat 3,000 to 4,000 calories a day and we might have 2,000, 2,500. So we really have to remember what we're looking for. And a big one is iron for the women, okay? Making sure you've got it because hemoglobin, which is what you use to transport oxygen as you're exercising, is the backbone of that is heme or iron. Make sense? Okay, go back to your 8th grade health class right here, huh? These are actually probably a lot older than you are, but these guys are all vegetarians. Who can name anybody out here? Help me out.
Hi, Karen.
Can you name anybody? Hank Aaron, all right, who else? Billie Jean King, thank you. You guys know this guy? Like early 70s, check out those glasses. Edwin Moses, this guy rocked as a hurdler, okay? Dave Scott was an Ironman winner like 8 years in a row over on the far bottom right there. So some really awesome athletes are able to be vegetarians and do it without an issue. It's just focusing on it and watching what it is that you need to do. So as athletes, you guys, which vitamins and minerals are most important to you? What do you really have to focus on? You've got to have all of them. There's no doubt about that. But we've got thiamine, riboflavin, and niacin, and those are B vitamins. And you know, those are the things that are enriched in pastas and in breads and in cereals already because the government said, whoa, we're probably not getting enough as it is. Let's enrich this stuff. That's why things come enriched. Sodium and electrolytes, because we sweat that stuff out. And we're going to talk about that on the hydration piece. Antioxidants, which help scavenge free radicals. You guys have heard of those probably. In our everyday life, as we're breathing soot and dust and dirt and whatever, we're breathing in free radicals, and free radicals are cancer-causing agents. Believe it or not, as we exercise, we're doing ourselves a ton of